Stephen Kim. Stephen, what is bullish? Because affordability is very difficult, both on the rate side and the pricing side, and we're starting to see the impact on sales.
You know, it's interesting. There's a lot of misunderstandings about the release that came out today. The new home sales statistic is actually something that I would tell your investors or your viewers to completely ignore. First of all, the data, when it first comes out, it has a revision factor, which is huge. And so effectively, the government will tell you that sales may have been down 6%, like they say year over year, but it could also have been up 8%. So you just have to know that that number, when it first comes out, is not reliable at all. But let's say it's roughly accurate. Just let's say. Interestingly, there's two things you really need to know. One, that builders are deliberately not selling homes to customers yet because they want to get their homes further along in the construction process before they sell them. And two, it's taking longer for home builders to build homes. And so you put those two things together, and what do you get? You get a sales number, which is lower than it would ordinarily be because the builders are deliberately holding back sales. And because it's taking longer, you have rising inventories. And so people put one and one together and they say, my goodness, you know, sales are down, it seems, and inventories are up. That's bad. It's actually not bad at all. It's what it's telling you is that you have a shortage in the market, that demand is far in excess of supply. And that's the reason why the thing that matters the most is driving people crazy. Home prices keep going up. And if you talk to the home builders, everyone's worried about rates, which is very reasonable. But you got to look at what the fundamentals are actually doing. The facts on the ground are that demand is far in excess of supply. It's been that way for the entirety of the last 2 years. And that's why people have consistently underestimated the fundamental growth in home building. But
the question, Stephen, is whether there's going to be some sort of stagflation coming to this part of the economy. The fact that prices keep rising higher and demand will slow down because of the general economy, because of inflation everywhere else in the economy, and because of higher mortgage rates. You don't see that happening?
Well, definitely, I would say it's axiomatic. If you have pricing or the cost of housing rising, demand weakens, of course. But you can't actually see demand. What you see is the intersection of demand with supply. And the best way to see that is to see the level of transactions and the price. Price is the most important thing to look at. What I would tell you is that what people are missing is that we have underbuilt this country for the last 15 years. It's the supply side, which is dramatically different. If you look in the market today, everything that you see is actually consistent with an idea that we have a supply constraint driven market. Look at what's happening with home prices. I just went through it. You know, inventories are very, very scarce. Builders cannot build the homes fast enough, and we have been running at record low levels of housing production for most of the last 10 to 15 years. And so we don't have enough homes for sale. And then look at the rents. Rents have been rising very rapidly over the last couple of years. So you have not enough houses for sale, and you have not enough apartments for rent. What that's telling you is you have underbuilt the market chronically. And that is the situation which is the most important thing. When people are going to form a household, they got to live somewhere. They're either going to rent an apartment or they're going to buy a home.
Quickly, top pick in the sector, then, if you think it's gotten beaten up too much.
You know, these home builders, the large cap home builders, are so under leveraged, and actually they're trading right now below liquidation value. Simply the value of the land that they owned pre-pandemic or they controlled pre-pandemic is worth more than the stocks themselves. So the names that I would highlight for you, I mean, I would look at Pulte, a large cap builder, very under leveraged. I would also say D.R. Horton and Toll Brothers would also be names that are very attractive here. But honestly, I think you're not going to go too wrong with really any of the larger cap home builders.